Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they take on Sam Bradford, playing for his fourth NFL team, the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner and #1 overall pick from Oklahoma. It's Sam Bradford.
And despite the 3 touchdown passes he threw, there's a lot to work on this week, wasn't there?
Oh, ton of interception.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going really with almost a 1-to-1 ratio, that's not going to work for you well at all. Not over the long haul. The beauty, though, somehow found a way to win.
Yeah, they still got the win last week. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his second touchdown on the season, and the Cardinals have taken the early lead. The very first play from scrimmage, how about that? Talk about setting a tone.
And people always talk about doing exactly that in the first 5 minutes of the game, the first offensive and defensive series. Who's going to gain an advantage? Well, we saw exactly what happened there. A tone was definitely set by the offensive team.
Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
Now it's Wilson. No gain, and it's 2nd down. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick. A look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Here's McKissick. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
On 1st down, Wilson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. A great move, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. But I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Janikowski bangs it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This is T.J. Logan to return it. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. And I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
And running back David Johnson was awfully popular in fantasy drafts in 2017, coming off of a year where he had 20 touchdowns, but had just 11 carries last season before a wrist injury shelved him for the season. Look for him to bounce back in a huge way in 2018.
To throw is Bradford. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. And he's got Gresham. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The first down carry here for Johnson. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Quarterback Shaquille Griffin had a nice rookie year in large part because he was never intimidated. And that came from Richard Sherman, who tutored him in 2017 and said he noticed that early about the young guy, and they just turned him loose.
On 2nd down, Johnson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. There for the tackle, Jacob Martin.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, Bradford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up 4th down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
You know, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run with McKissick. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Over the middle, and it's caught. Brandon Marshall. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. The son Reddick in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. Escaping the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Marcus Golden in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Sebastian Janikowski on from long distance. He's hit from 61 and 63 in his career. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A carry now for McKissick. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And now Sebastian Janikowski on from the long distance. He's hit from 61 and 63 in his career. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So make it 2 missed field goals for him now, but I have the sense, given that distance, you could probably forgive him here on this one.
Yeah, this is out of the range of just about anybody on planet Earth except probably you, partner. But you just got to drive it out low and hope that somehow you hit it absolutely perfect. But no real chance for this one to go through.
And now let's look at David Johnson. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback. But as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They will run it. It's McKissick. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Bradford. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Wilson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Play action. It's Wilson. Looking for Baldwin. Intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure there's flexibility there because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well.
The wrist seems fine. The legs were never a problem as DJ's in the backfield again on 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Johnson on the counter. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie, the coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. They'll try to throw now. Bradford, he's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And he's got Fitzgerald. A couple of vets fighting each other there for a Cardinal first down. Bradford to Fitzgerald.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Bradford on 1st down. Underneath for Johnson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To the air again with Bradford. That's caught by Butler over the middle, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll throw again. Bradford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Dawson's kick is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. A lot to get to here this final day of September. So let's get started. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete, and that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. Well, other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 yards through the air on a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough. Swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a long 11-play drive, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out to kick is Janikowski. With it on the return is Logan. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Bradford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Byron Maxwell. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions, and then for the offensive line,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corey Peters with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Wilson operating from the gun. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Seahawks on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Completes it to Dixon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
On 3rd down, Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now they'll run on the draw. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Let's go get it right here. Come on.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down, Wilson. Flushed out right, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. With it on the return is Logan. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now Bradford on second down. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. On 3rd down, Bradford dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. A gain of 8 and a first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights forward for only about a yard after the 21. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
So out now come the Cardinals. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Throwing, Bradford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And Dawson's kick is good. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go walk.
And a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They go play action now. Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Robert Kindici in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And they'll run it here. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
So a lot rides now on the big left leg of Sebastian Janikowski. From the left hash, this from 46. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Sam Bradford heading back out as he and his offense get ready to go again. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Bradford now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Bradford. Being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
2nd down, Bradford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Play action now, Bradford. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Bradford. And the pressure gets to Bradford, and down he goes. Malik McDowell never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now Bradford. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. He's back to throw. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Back to throw. Underneath for Johnson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Right there in coverage, the veteran Cam Chancellor. Great hands there defensively to knock the ball away in the end zone. My partner just stood up. It's 4th and goal, and the game coming down to 1 play.
And there's no way you're getting me back down there again. They have to do it one more time. This is exciting.
Glad you remember to come back on Mike for this. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the lead. Still a 1-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now. Just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. This is Carson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Seahawks, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.